Hi guys, I'm on break. I'm doing like a work training, a little moment today, and I have like an hour. So I went to Quick Star and got lunch. I got this little cheese stick, and I'm like obsessed with their French fries, like actually obsessed. And I got a cute little raspberry lemonade because it's pink, and it was like this was all like $5. So, but yeah, I don't know. I've just been doing like a lot of thinking lately. About life. I've not really been as active. If you know me, you know like I love posting, like obsessed with TikTok. Usually I take so many pictures of myself. I've really not been doing that lately. And it's been a really interesting time in my life, I guess. Kind of a lot of things that people had told me make sense now that I'm older. And I do work with kids. I work with at-risk, unhoused youth, and watching them be in situations that are incredibly similar to what I had to go through. And the secondary trauma from just like listening to that can be a lot. And it's made me think about a lot of stuff. Oh God. I hope these people are not like watching me. But a fun mukbang, right? I don't know. One thing I've been thinking a lot about is modesty. During I use the word deconstruction phase very lightly because I'm so fucking blessed that I was not as brainwashed as I could have been, and as a lot of my friends have been, and had to come to terms with and deal with. I'm so lucky I was raised in a Presbyterian church. I know that there's sketchy versions of every church. I don't know if I just lucked out with mine because my church family has always been supportive. Like when I was in rehab, I was a full-blown atheist. I was dabbling in witchcraft, did not want anything to do with God, goddess, anyone. Very angry at religion. And keep in mind, like, I've been through Catholic school, like, I was enamored and so interested in religion when I was younger. I remember saying, like, I want to learn about them all. And so I did. I learned a lot about a lot of religions and a very common, I guess, spiritual practices too, and a very common theme was really hateful and harmful ideals and values that I didn't agree with. I've been exposed to a lot of mega churches, like in Branson, when I went on family vacation there, and my part of the family did not really want to attend because it's Branson and I look like this. So I think that should tell you why I don't want to be in Branson, Missouri. As soon as you hit state lines, Confederate flags everywhere. I was disgusted. I was scared. So I've been to mega churches there and heard about how, like, if you're gay, you're gonna die from AIDS, because apparently that's what happens only to gay people. It's actually majority of people that do have AIDS is Black women. It's not gay men. The misconception, and like, I'm like, okay, so you're focusing on gay white men and you're not helping the people that have, anyway, it's just like, it's been a whole thing. So growing up, my family was like religious. We don't pray before dinner. I mean, we went to church most Sundays, but it was never forced upon me. It still isn't by my family. They know I practice witchcraft. No one cares. Like, they don't care. We're Presbyterians. They really don't say anything, even if they care. They're just very quiet and chill, in my experience. But no. I've been thinking a lot about what modesty means to me lately. I will say, with all the sister wives drama, I do have, we're not really friends anymore, but I do know people that are polygamists. Not necessarily FLDS Mormons. A lot of them have left the church because of the abusive practices, but I do have a wide variety of a somewhat baseline understanding of different cultures and religion, spiritual practice, things like that. And I think when I was younger, when I was going through the things that I did, I really wanted to reject the narrative of modesty because I did not understand it. To me, that felt like I was succumbing to the man and like overly being, I don't know, ruled by Christian values. And like, I still don't agree with that. And I'm someone who like, now I like listen to the Christian radio in the morning. Like, I still don't agree with that. But I was thinking over the past, I'll be honest, like 6 months, I've been thinking like, well, I constantly am someone that is going to advocate for very heavily the right for people to wear a burqa or a hijab or a headscarf, or wear a long skirt, cover your body. Like, to me, I've always seen that as such a beautiful act other people take part of, and the fact that they honor themselves so much to do that. Because I think a big misconception is they're doing it for God, the white man with a beard that sits in heaven that everybody seems to think is God. And the more I talk to people about it that are not like that, the more I understood modesty is not in how you dress. Modesty is not a maxi skirt and a long sleeve shirt. And it can be interpreted in many, many different ways. And that may be how it is for you. And that's great. That's fine. It's like, my thing is, if I can be okay with people wearing short shorts, or I've been to nude beaches, for example, like if I can be fine on a nude beach, I can be fine fully clothed. And like, the older I get, and now that I work with kids, I find myself, even when I'm going out, like the one time a month, I'll like sit at the bar while my friends party or whatever, so I can be a DD. It's like, I find myself still wanting to cover up. I do. And not only for me, because I feel comfortable that way. I feel sexy that way. I feel cute this way. Like right now, like I'm in sweatpants and a sweatshirt on a Saturday. Wow. I feel okay. I feel cute. Also, look at my new glasses I got. They're so Y2K. Like the cigarette smoking ant. Anyways. I started to see how people looked at me. And I don't like it. I don't like that I'm having a conversation with a doctor in a doctor's office and they're staring where they shouldn't be staring, regardless of what I'm wearing. You know what I mean? It feels better to me to dress like this, and I still love dressing up in crazy stuff, but now it's like such a shift of like, this is kind of uncomfortable. It feels not as much like me, and maybe it's because I hate my body right now. I've gained weight. I don't even want to talk about it. It's hard. My weight fluctuates, like even a pound, I'm just like, but whatever. Different video. Oh my god, I want that cowboy hat. That's a dope cowboy hat that dude has. I don't know. I've just been thinking a lot about it, and it's gonna sound weird for people that know me to think that I'm like in the van, driving a minivan, right? Driving kids around in a minivan and then listening. I don't make them listen to that, obviously. That would be weird. We don't do that. After they get dropped off and such, me sitting there listening to the Christian radio. Or the fact that I do have in my opinion, a wonderful and open relationship with my conception of what God is and goddess. That's a given. Spirit, universe, whatever you want to call it. To me, it's my God and goddess. But I don't know. I've been thinking a lot, and I I have had some experiences with church and witnessing things that should not have been happening in church. And for a long time, it was really hard for me to separate that, like separate the people from it. And I will say I was not a very kind person to Christians. It doesn't matter if you're a liberal. It didn't matter if you were a Republican. It did not matter. In my mind, Christian was a really bad word. For some reason, that didn't transfer to other religions. I don't know why. I just was very, hurt. I was very hurt by the church. And by witnessing what the church had done to so many people I loved to keep them silent, submissive. I'll be real here for a second. Where I attended school, we're not going to talk about specifics. When I attended Catholic school, I was in elementary, and a pastor who we saw more than twice a week was put in prison for, you can assume what? It's the Catholic Church and it's a priest. Assume. With children. Our children that I went to school with every day and knew. This has been going on years. And I'll never forget when the teachers outwardly supported him to us. It actually sat us down and tried to explain why he wasn't a bad person. And I vividly remember this too. We were getting ready for a choir concert. It was a Christmas concert. We were in the church because the church is parallel to the school. It always is with Catholic schools. And he showed up to a children's Christmas choir concert with pre-K through 5th grade kids. And they allowed it. That's one example I can think of. There's been a lot of times in my life where I was lucky, if you want to consider it that. That was one time that I didn't get involved, is the word we'll use. Another example, this is not religious, but when I was in residential treatment for alcohol and drug abuse, right off starting my recovery, thank God I am still sober. It'll be 5 years on April 15th. They were doing the same thing to the kids there, and it did not happen to me. That doesn't mean that's not happened to me many, many, many times. Let's not get that twisted, but I guess a lot of my life it was why not me? Survivor's guilt was very real. It's still very real. And it's something I've been thinking about. Why not me? Why are my friends passing away before they're even 21 and not me? Why am I sober and why are my friends not, that I thought needed it even more than me? And when I started to get to that point, that is when I started to question, what is my conception of God? And what am I doing to have a relationship with any form of spirituality? I think for the last year, I really have not been practicing witchcraft. I've not done tarot readings. I've not done spells or anything. I think I was just so emotionally drained. Hang on, I have to check the time. We're good. I was so emotionally drained. I didn't have the energy to process or act or do anything. I feel like the entire last year I was just stuck in survival mode. It was like, I finally had time enough to rest that all of this trauma kind of hit me at once, and I lost a bunch of friends, and that opened up doors to pain I had not dealt with since I was very young. I treated people very badly. I have borderline, so like my reactions to things are very unpredictable anyways, but I was vicious to people. It was like I could not handle any sort of interaction that wasn't completely like safe to me. And to me, safe is a very convoluted and twisted, different perception of reality and people than other people have, and I do acknowledge that. And so it's very hard for me to feel safe when I'm living in fight or flight. Very hard. And I'm not at that point today in my life. That's really the only reason I feel comfortable talking about this, and that may change tomorrow. I don't really know. It's me, so, but I literally could not do it anymore. I went to the psych ward a few times. I think people in my life were aware of that. I did not discuss that at length. I was fully planning to die. Fully. I mean, checking myself in didn't seem to help with that. Medicine did not seem to help. Therapy. I reached a point where, as much as I love the therapist I was working with, I was way too self-aware for it to be helpful to me. And so I learned I have to take a different approach dealing with insurance and trying to find a therapist that will, one, work with you. Even just the PTSD diagnosis I have and the mental health history I have, the behavioral incidents and aggression they labeled me with when I was younger, big factor as to why I cannot get a placement in a residential place even if I wanted it, which I do not want it considering the shit that goes on there, and B, finding a therapist that will even take me. Rejection from therapists is hard. I have had people where the appointment's literally set up, it's that day, I'm ready to go, and then I get a call and they say, we've looked at your file and we cannot take you. And that still hurts, even though they're being honest, and I understand it would probably be better not to deal with someone that can't deal with me. It still fucking hurts bad. The only reason I posted anything back then was for other people, either to see Faith is doing really well or Faith is doing really bad. And I was never able to directly tell that to the people I wanted. No matter if it's just my grandma, like I couldn't tell her, I'm hurting, I need your help. I went no contact with family for like 6 months in 2021. That was really scary to them. I call my grandparents every day, sometimes twice a day. I love them. And it's back to that point where I talk to them every day and stuff like that. But it was a really scary, very dark time for me. I'm saying this as I'm like mukbanging in my car outside a Quick Star. But it was. I was genuinely scared of myself. I was not scared of what I was going to do to others. I think that's a big misconception, is that because someone is harmful to themselves that they're going to be harmful to others. I was not. I promise. I was evaluated. I'm continuously evaluated. That's when you check yourself in. But I reached a point, all this combined, right? And obviously there was other things that I was unpacking. There's still things I feel I cannot be open about, wounds that will probably always be kept in here, because it's a burden to other people, and I acknowledge that, and it opens up a whole can of worms for me, not necessarily other people. It's just like when I open that up, then it's like a whole, I can go downhill so fast, and that really scares me. And that's a big burden on myself. That's a big weight on my shoulders every day, all day. I have triggers I have to work through. Working in the job I do, I am triggered constantly. Constantly. I am hurt constantly. Do I ever let that show? No. It is of the utmost importance to me to not put that on who I work with and who I work for. Because I am working for kids that need it more than anyone else. And when I was in shelters, I was begging for an inch of affection or help. Begging. I remember like crying on the floor. I just want a hug. I just want a hug. I haven't had one in I don't know how long. So it's hard. It's really hard. I don't take things personal. I mean, I said some foul stuff when I was that age. If you're gonna take it personal, you're in the wrong field. But I was very unwell for a very, very, very long time. I would say right up until my client passed away, who I was caregiving for almost 2 years. We were very, very close. I'm still very close with his family. I love them so much. When I met them, it changed my life. He changed my life. I was open to things I never thought I would be open to again. I used to love praying and having spiritual practice every single day, and having that closeness and that connection with your spirituality was everything to me. It was my lifeline when I was going through the most horrific abuse in my life, right? And I abandoned that when I lost ability to function. And when I lost my client, I can't explain it. Something changed in me, and the wheels very, very, very slowly started to turn. My life today from 2 years ago, I like want to cry. Like, it's unexplainably different. If you would have told me 2 years ago I would be here sitting in my own car that I own, with my own money, eating fries on an hour-long break from a job that I love, that I feel is my life's purpose, I would not have fucking believed you. I literally would have laughed in your face. Yet here we are. All that to say, my life has been forever changed, whether I continue on this path or not, by honestly accepting spirituality fully back into my life. There are things that I cannot explain, that have happened to me, by no human force or nature in the past 2 years. And I just felt really, I had to put this out there. because I know people have been noticing the change in me. Not a bad change, a good one, and that makes me really emotional. Because I worked so hard. I could not have done it if the series of events didn't happen. When you're in a place where you're thinking, how did I end up here? Whether that's good or bad, try and remember there's so much more to the story than your mind will allow you to remember. There is 21 years up till today of my life that affect me and affect the way my brain is wired. And the same goes for other people. There are still some things that hurt me and boundaries I have to uphold. There are family members I'm still no contact with. And that hurts. Because I have just been thinking and why am I doing this? Like, when I have a really hard day at work, I'm like, okay, why? Like, what put me here? And I think back, I had this really, really amazing therapist, and her name was Nancy. And I love Nancy so much. She has passed away. Unfortunately, that happened when I was young, and I was not able to finish or continue my therapy. And all of us, we call each other Nancy's kids, right? Because she fostered older teenagers so they would have a home. She took the people that no one would take, and they came out a different person. And all I wanted to be was just like her when I was little. I just want to be just like Nancy. And now I am given that opportunity to help kids like me and help kids that have had it worse than me. And it just makes you think, like, I am so lucky. I am so lucky. And I think if I could have a conversation with Nancy today, she would be very proud. And I'm really trying to ruin my makeup. I did not think I was gonna cry because I have to go back to work. But I think she would be very proud. And I desperately want to make her proud. See, we started off talking about modesty, and now we get here, and it's just like, my values are constantly changing, which to me is very important. They are evolving and adapting. I feel that Nietzsche, rereading his works, and honestly Carl Jung have completely changed my life. If I did not find philosophy again, I would never have found my spirituality again. I am so eternally grateful. And the time that I've spent reflecting, I've learned that not everything needs to be shared, and that our values change just as we do. And I've learned so much acceptance. I still really struggle with myself. I can actively hear myself putting myself down daily, hourly, all the time, and it hurts me when I do it, which says that I'm changing, but it's still really hard, because I want to love myself the way that I think that other people do. I hope other people do. And I really don't know what else to say. I just think that I am blessed to go through everything I've gone through and come out like this. You know, the kids ask me all the time. Sometimes I'm only a couple years older, obviously, you know, when you get a teenager, and they'll ask me, how did you do it? And I said, well, you can too. Because I was in your spot. I was bounced around. They threw me wherever you could put me with an open bed. Even if there was no bed. The shelter in my town, they had me sleeping on the floor, and I had to bargain cigarettes for a blanket from other kids. That is what I lived in. When they put me in the psych ward, they put me in a restraints so hard that I'd pass out. And I watched them throw kids into a seclusion room in a straitjacket that weren't even 6 years old. I've been given medications that you should not give a child, because they were convinced I was schizophrenic when I was really having an episode. I've been told that I don't hallucinate, even though they're not inside my brains, and that I'm making everything up. And look at me now. I don't know. I think it really matters to me, not that I keep expressing that I've changed, but proving it with my actions and my thoughts. And I've been given that opportunity. So it's very important I take it. Wow, this was a heavy mukbang. Holy shit. Okay, get back on track here. Still have a little bit before work. Probably should head there. I don't know, guys. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like the way I'm talking is changing. Like, I think much sooner before reacting now, and I don't impulsively post. I don't post just so people can see this convoluted, weird, encrypted, like, crypto message of what I'm feeling and, like, put the fucking puzzle pieces. No. Like, I just post when I'm happy and what I like, and I don't feel the need to wear makeup. I know I'm like wearing a full face right now, but I don't feel the need to wear makeup wherever I go anymore. I don't feel the need to dress up. I don't feel the need to wear less clothes. I feel the need to be myself and express that to the fullest extent. And if I'm tired, I'm not going to get dressed up. If I feel like it, I'm going to. If it's hot, I'm going to put on a pair of shorts. If it's not, I'm probably not going to go out of my way to dress like how I used to when I was a teenager, because I'm realizing that attention-seeking behavior, I don't have to do that. I don't have to. I am so lucky, and I'm not saying you don't have to do that to get attention, because a lot of times when you're a teenager, yes, you do. You're screaming for help and no one's going to hear you, so you're going to do every other thing you can to get that attention. But I don't feel the need, and I have to recognize I'm safe. I'm secure. I don't care if I have $0 in my bank account right now. I don't care. I'm safe and I'm secure. I'm gonna get paid again. I get to go back to work on Wednesday. I have training all weekend. Like, I'm okay. I'm okay. And, I don't know, I've just been having a lot of big thoughts lately. I'd love to post more videos talking about religion, and theology fascinates me. Always been very interested in that. I don't know. I also finished Breaking Bad again, so I'm like super emotional, very vulnerable right now. I don't know. That show always hits my soft spot. You can infer why, but I think I'm a Jesse. I always want to think I'm Walter, but I'm Jesse. Anyways, I gotta get back to work, guys. I'm distracting myself now. This was fun. Thanks for chatting with me. New video coming soon. Maybe. I'd love to collab with Jada, but every single time we hang out, my dog shits in her kennel. She's fine. I took her to the vet, but like every single time it's happened, I'm like, what the heck? Like twice in a row, I guess. But yeah, I always get scared. I'm like, oh my god, she's dying. They're like, she's not. Like, she's like literally fine. Like, you didn't have to bring her in and spend the emergency vet visit. I don't care. See her anyways. Okay, I'm gonna stop making excuses and go back so I can drink my Diet Coke and finish my day. And I love you guys. I hope you're all getting into a better place. And thank you for watching. I know people like hate watch me, and I honestly kind of love that. There's part of me that loves that. Part of me that's like, everything I post is so cringe, I want to throw up. I do sometimes. I'm just like, I can't. I get so anxious about it. But no. Most of my viewers are from Germany. Hello. I don't speak German, but hi. And none of you are subscribed. Anyways, because I can see that. But love ya. Thank you for watching. Sorry I got a little emotional. Nancy's a sensitive topic for me. And so is my job because I just love it. But yeah, I'm gonna go back. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.